Hi guys. So today we are going to be reading chapter 4. So let's see what's going on. In the last chapter, if you guys remember, she was getting the seat right for her new friend. So let's see what goes on in chapter 4. Miss Morales is standing by the front door of the library to greet us one by one when we arrive for today's library visit. She's wearing her long pearls and a bright orange sweater. And on her left arm, she's holding her stuffed goose named Lucy, which everyone gets to honk when they leave their library. Hola, Stella, Miss Morales says. Buenos dias, Miss Morales, I say quietly, but I squeal inside. Miss Morales has been our librarian since kindergarten. The best thing about Miss Morales, apart from the fact that she speaks Spanish, is the fact that she's so smart and loves sharing books with us. At the beginning of the year, when I started getting interested in fishes, she showed me all of these books on Jacques Cousteau, a famous ocean explorer. Now I love reading about him. So if you guys remember how I mentioned, I was like, why does she have so many fishes and starfish in the front? And it's because she said like she started reading about it, so she started getting interested in it. So she does like it. And I think that's a picture of Jacques Cousteau. Or maybe Miss Morales, but I think it's Jacques. Hello, Miss Bell's class, she announces as soon as all of us are sitting in the front of the computer. Miss Morales is full of spunk and a little different from your usual librarian. I think the most librarians have purple streaks in their hair. Oh, don't have purple streaks in her hair. So this librarian has purple streaks in her hair, which I love color. Instead of saying hello back, we wave our hands in the air. Miss Morales says proper library etiquette calls for no loud voices. Miss Morales waves back and continues, I hear you are all finding books for your sustained reading. Now, you remember how to use the catalog, right? Just find the Dewey Decimal number, write it down, and look for the book on the shelf. If you have any questions, I am here. The Dewey Decimal System is how the books are organized at the library. If it were up to me, I would just organize them by color, like my colored pencils, or by height, like my books at home. Still, it really does help when searching for books. With the power of Dewey, I find the perfecto book. So it's kind of how we have at our library, right? When we have like different levels of reading, like AR reading levels. That's kind of the same thing here. I grab it and head over to a big table by myself. These pictures are so beautiful. I want to dog ear the pages, but I only do that to my books at home. Miss Bell comes up to me. So dog ear is right when you like a page and then you like twist down the page like this because you really like it and then you press it down. See how it kind of looks like a dog ear? Same thing with this one. Like if I really like this page, I can put it down like that and it would look like a dog ear. So then she says, Miss Bell comes up to me, crouches down, and says in a quiet voice, what book are you reading, Stella? What Lives in the Ocean by Tanya Michelson, I say quietly. Sounds positively fascinating, she whispers. It is. Did you know? And then here's an octopus. Did you know that an octopus doesn't have any bones and has 3 hearts? I have to draw it later. It's just too cool looking. I heard an octopus named Paul became famous for predicting many of the winners of the World Cup. Wow, I explained. Miss Bell chuckles. She lifts her finger to her mouth. When I get excited, I speak louder than I realize. I think there will be a little time for drawing after the library, she whispers before standing. I smile and keep reading about octopuses. It turns out they are extraordinary escape artists. To escape from their enemies, they release a cloud of ink to help them disappear. Then, because they have no bones, they can maneuver through almost any nook or cranny. Nook, cranny is like a little space. They can even escape through a hole and only an inch wide. So an inch is like that much, only like an inch wide. Right? So this, like this. That would be really helpful skill to have. So imagine like, if you could fit in any kind of space like that, like if you could fit in a little 1-inch space, what would you do? Or why would that be as a helpful skill? So if she thinks it's a helpful skill, why do you guys think it would be a helpful skill to be able to fit anywhere? Me, I think if I was able to fit anywhere, I wouldn't have to worry about like even moving or like getting through large crowds or like she said, like if you're in danger, right? And you need to run. So imagine how cool that must be if you can just leave, right? You can just fit through any space. When it's time to go back to class, everyone says goodbye to Miss Morales and Lucy. Adios, Miss Morales and Lucy, I say as I give the stuffed goose a squeeze. I have to admit, even though I'm in third grade and too old for this, it's still sort of fun. Lucy honks, and Miss Morales and I both smile. Hasta luego, Stella. When we get back to the room, everyone starts chatting about their books except for me. I start drawing my octopus. I'm about halfway finished, making sure I draw all 8 arms the same size, when I hear a knock on the door. I look up, and Miss Green, who works in the office, is at the door. Miss Bell meets her and whispers. I hear Ben Shaw said to Chris Pollard, it must be the new kid. I dropped my colored pencils. I got so carried away with the library and my drawing that I almost forgot. Then I see who's standing next to Miss Green. It's a boy, and he has light brown hair. I frown a little. That's very different from what I imagined. Class, Miss Bell says, this is our new student. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? The new boy waves at everyone and says, howdy, I'm Stanley Mason. I just moved here from Dallas, Texas, or Texas, in Espanol. Miss Bell says, Texas? That's so far away from here. Has anyone been to Texas? If you kids raise your hand, I actually was in Texas last year on our family road trip. We went to see the Alamo, and we went to a cave where we took a picture with a dinosaur sculpture named Grendel. So here is the statue. So Texas is a different state, right? So we're in California. It's more towards the south area, so it's kind of far from us. But that's where he is coming from. But I'm always too shy to speak up. So even though that she had been there too, and she had went and saw the Alamo thing, she was too scared to speak up. Plus, the Alamo isn't in Dallas. Stanley probably hasn't even seen it. Still, even if I weren't shy, I wouldn't be able to talk right now. I'm a little speechless. I can't believe Stanley speaks Espanol. He doesn't look like someone who would speak Spanish at all. The new kid, I imagine, had dark brown hair like me and not light hair. And she was a girl. Miss Bell says, now, class, let's have everyone quickly introduce yourself to Stanley. One by one, people stand. There are about 10 people in front of me, and I feel nervous and a little sweaty. I want to make a new friend so badly, even if he's a boy. So what if he's not at all the girl I had pictured in my head? He speaks Spanish like me, and more important, he's new. He could use a friend as much as I could. I could be his first new friend here. When it's my turn, I stand up. I feel myself turning roja. I freeze. I just read that some octopuses can paralyze their prey. Maybe Stanley is part octopus. Probably not. He looks like a normal boy with freckles, blue eyes, and a cool monkey shirt. I catch myself staring at him for a second. Me llamo Stella, I say while looking away quickly. Sorry, I mean Stella. I say it even as faster as I sit back down. I'm going to groan out of embarrassment when I feel my chair start to tilt backwards. My eyes grow grande like an elephant, and everything slows down. I try to reach out to grab my desk, but it's too late. Crash! Before I know it, my feet are sticking straight up in the air and my back is on the ground. I've fallen down in front of Stanley, in front of everyone. I close my eyes as I hear the entire class laugh. So she did, right? She felt really scared and nervous, and she ended up falling down. I check my arms and legs. Nothing hurts. I think about staying on the ground, but decide to crawl up. I poke my eyes above my desk. So she's like this, right? So she fell, and she's just like this, poking her eyes. Are you okay, Stella? Miss Bell is the only one not laughing. Yes, I whisper. I look at Stanley. He looks like he wants to laugh, but he's holding it in. There goes my new friend, I think. Who would want a klutz for a friend? I pull my chair back up and sit down. On top of it, I can't believe I spoke Spanish instead of English. Double embarrassing. I stare at my drawing and think about escaping through a tiny hole or disappearing in a cloud of ink. Today, I really wish I were an octopus. Because remember when she said, me llamo Stella? So that's why she's like, oh my gosh, like why did I speak in Spanish instead of English? She fell down. So everything is going like a little, like not as she had expected it, right, with her new friend. But how do you think her new friend is going to react? Do you think her new friend is going to care? Because he held in his laugh, right? So he kind of did want to laugh, but he didn't. So what do you think is going to happen?